You don't know. Sometimes a comedian's having the worst day of their life.
Yeah.
But they've agreed to this gig and they have to do it. Or they're getting paid or it's in their contract or whatever. And they go up that you'd never know and they're killing it. They're doing really well. And then they walk off. And, you know, you might spot them after the show. You want to go up to them and say hi, you know. And then they're really nice and then they get into their car and they break down. Kids go through like a lot of rough stuff.
Yeah.
Like especially these days, like, you know, like social media, all this stuff. The bullying is like next level, dude. Instagram, TikTok, like all Snapchat, all this
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like platforms that I don't even use. So it's like I was never even across what was happening.
This is actually like one of my first times at a comedy show. My friend got tickets and he's like, yeah, we should all go. And he's been to a couple and he's like, make sure you don't sit at the front because that's where the hot zone is. And I was like, okay, so we sat like on the side, on the back a little.
Because back then I was like into like downloading illegal shows off
on LimeWire.
You know?
Yeah, he knows. All right.
That's what I was into. So I was watching like American stuff, you know, ripping stand-up specials and all that.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Rice and Mike's podcast. I'm your host, Tung Yun, and today I'm joined by another fantastic comic. His name is Harry Jun. Harry, welcome to the show. How are you going?
Thanks for having me. Rice? Some rices here.
Some rice, yes. So
a couple of rices.
That's it. Now, when I created your episode draft, it was about 2 months ago, I think.
Wow,
so I've got some of your stats here, but they've been updated since.
My God.
Okay, so 2 months ago, he was on 165K on TikTok.
You got this.
I just updated it. So now, I just checked this morning. So now you're on 176K on TikTok. God. You were on 5.3 million likes. Now you're on 6.4. And then on Instagram, you're on 60K. Now you're on 74. This is in the span of 2 months, which is really impressive.
Yeah, you should be my social media manager. You're on top of this more than I am. That's
because I know you post a lot of your stuff on socials, but like we'll get a bit of context here. So Harry is you're doing this full time, right? As a comic,
sort of.
Like you mix a few different things. I know you've got like media. You work in like SBS. I've done a podcast for SBS. I'm currently a creator for the ABC. Yeah. So part of their creator program. Yeah. So that's like my day job. Yeah. And then my night job is stand up comedy. Yeah. So does that help a lot with appearing on camera? When you're doing a lot of media stuff?
That's helped. Well, yeah, because I've been at the ABC a couple of years now. I hosted my own show and I currently shoot a TV show for them as well. Yeah. And that's helped heaps for being on screen.
What's the TV show?
TV show is Good Games Spawn Squad. Yes. So it's like a video game show for kids, but that's like in a full studio. And that gave me so much experience, like...
Which is crazy because I remember watching that show when I was in school when it was on like ABC3 and it was Hex and Barjo. That was the OG.
That's the OG.
And now you're part of it.
Yeah.
Did you watch it back then?
No, I didn't. I wasn't really, because back then I was like into like downloading illegal shows off
on LimeWire.
You know?
Yeah, he knows. All right.
That's what I was into. So I was watching like American stuff, you know, ripping stand-up specials and all that. But Hex and Barjo, shout out to the greats. They like established like gaming in media in Australia and obviously did an incredible job at the ABC. And so they created a spin-off, Good Game Spawn Point. And then that has its own spin-off, Good Game Spawn Squad. So I was lucky to join Spawn Point a couple years ago, I want to say. Yeah. And then Spawn Squad bit after that. So we're doing that right now.
Okay, because I know the differences with Good Games. Good Game was like for the mature crowd, with like the MMA rated games, and then Spawn Point was more of like the G rated PG for like the kids and teens. So what's Squad about?
So Spawn Squad is still kids, but then what happens is like kids will be on the show and they show us like their favorite video games. They show us like little tips and tricks. Basically demolish us at video games, which is so funny. Like it's so funny to me.
So what? Demolish?
Yeah, they're playing. We'll play like Rocket League, and they'll absolutely destroy me. Yeah.
I thought they would also show like their creations. Is that a thing?
Yeah, creations like fun, just fun stuff. Like it's really great for kids to watch that kind of stuff. Like encouraging as well, because I think video games can be like I think a lot of parents even still have like a stigma against video games for kids, and we're just trying to show that it's just a bit of fun. and they're mucking around.
I think it's pretty normalized now. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's because like people my age are having kids now. You know what I mean? Like that it's only creeping in where it feels normal.
Bad. Hey.
Mate, yeah, you definitely feel. I feel it. I feel the kids coming in, especially the ones we work with. They're saying stuff that I don't even know.
Yeah, it's this new lingo,
new slang, new game terms. You know, the brain rot, all this. I'm like, yeah, cool.
I assume you're keeping up though because you work with around so many kids, right?
Yeah. They help me keep across all of that stuff. I mean, I can't say that I think it's okay to not be across it all. I reckon it almost becomes like the inverse. If you're trying too hard to be hip, to know all that, then it's like, oh, you're trying too hard. Just let your own, you stick to it, let us have our thing. Because that's what I felt like when I was young.
Yeah.
I wanted my stuff, and then for the old people.
Yeah. Stay away, man.
just stick to your own stuff, And so I respect that.
Yeah. All right, we'll dive into your background. So were you always working in media when you finished school, or did you have like aspirations to do something else?
Nah, I actually became a high school teacher right out of uni. Mm-hmm. So at a high school, I did my first degree was like, they don't even offer it anymore. It was called a Bachelor of Liberal Studies, I think it was called.
Right.
Which is you do like a minor in an arts subject, a science, and a maths, and then after 3 years, you're like, you don't really major. I don't know. People use that degree to launch themselves into other degrees.
Yeah.
If you don't make it in,
it's like arts. Right?
Yeah, a bit like. It's like a, what do you call it? It's like a starter degree. I don't know, but they don't offer it anymore because like.
Yeah, because like people use like against like a Bachelor of Arts, and they transfer to something else usually. Yeah,
that's what that was
for.
Was
the trend.
First year I did that, I like failed math subject. I did statistics, and I'm so bad at maths.
Yeah.
Sorry to the fellow Rices out there. I'm so bad at maths, and then I failed. And so at the end of that degree, I was like, I would have had to repeat a bunch of units at uni. So I was like, nah, screw that. And then I swapped into teaching. I didn't even really want to be a teacher in the beginning.
Why did you sort of lean towards it?
It was just an option that was available. And then I remember my first year doing it. Loved it. So fun. Dude,
is this high school or?
It was a high school teacher.
Okay, yeah.
But my first year of like education degree, I remember one of the videos we were watching in a lecture. It was like, because we had to learn educational psychology. You have to learn how people learn. And they showed this video of these chimpanzees. They figured out how to get, it was in the enclosure, and there's like a rope that would be like high up in the air. I want to say like 3 meters in the air, and there's like a box that was tied to it with a banana in this box and little like holes in the box. Okay. And they figured out that they just let the chimpanzees try and figure out this puzzle, right? Chimpanzees figured out they would have to get a stick and smack the box enough so they would rattle it, and then the banana would fall out one of the holes of the box to get their prize. And so they saw how chimpanzees learn.
And what, they base the curriculum around these monkeys or what?
Not on the chimpanzees. But they were showing how, like, through our observations of how chimpanzees learn, we are able to then extrapolate that into, like, the different models of teaching. So we learned, like, Piaget's model of teaching, like, schemas. Like, we learn with, like, these sort of, how would you put it? It's like clumps of knowledge, little scaffolds of knowledge, and then we categorize things when we learn, like all that kind of stuff. But I just remember sitting in that lecture. It was the first time ever being in a university lecture and having fun. I remember high-fiving my friend, being like, dude,
it's crazy.
Chimpanzees, man, this is so sick. Laughing, having fun. I remember the lecturer laughed at us because we were like high-fiving, having so much fun. Dude, we're taking notes on chimpanzees, bro. Like, it's ridiculous, but also like super cool. So I really enjoyed the education degree, and then I got to spend time in China to do a teaching internship. So I did that with a bunch of uni mates. I met my best mate G, who I'm best mates with now, because he was doing teaching back then. We roomed together in China because we were doing it's like a 6-week internship where we taught English to like kids in China.
Yeah,
hectic. So I got so many stories from back then. And then right after that, I got a job as a teacher in a school that I taught at for the next like 7 years after that.
7 years?
Yeah, I taught for 7 years.
Wait, how long have you been doing comedy for?
I've been doing comedy
media?
for 9 years.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 35. How would you think I was, Tom?
I thought you were 30.
No, I wish. I wish. No, I'm 35, man.
Oh, shit. It's the Asian genetics, man. Yeah, I see.
I was teaching for... I taught and did comedy for like 5 years, like at the same time. So my day job teaching, night job stand-up comedy. Yeah. And then I only kind of recently got into doing the ABC thing. I think within the last 4 years.
Right.
Was doing ABC during the day, comedy at night.
So how did you decide to transition out from teaching to move into media?
When I got that first video game, so I was hosting a show called Loot Drop, which is like an ABC video game show. It was like kind of similar to Good Game, but sort of much smaller budget.
Okay. Yeah.
I got that offer in 2022.
Yeah.
I want to say. And it just slowly got more days offered because I was only working there, I think, 2 or 3 days a week.
It was like a casual gig?
Yeah. And then I was also doing teaching the other 2 or 3 days. Yeah. And then I slowly, as my like days increased in this TV show or YouTube show, I reduced my teaching hours to then it became nothing, and I essentially kind of soft quit.
Yeah, okay.
Which was hard, man. It's hard, like, because I love teaching. Teaching was really fun.
Yeah.
Being in the classroom. All the other stuff, very stressful.
I know it's a lot of admin.
Oh, it's a lot of admin, but also, like, I think it does, just the nature of the job, because you're caring so much about, like, your students' well-being, and, like, kids go through, like, a lot of rough stuff.
Yeah.
Like, especially these days, like, you know, like, social media, all this stuff. The bullying is, like, next level, dude. Like,
we're ramped up.
Man, it's just different. Like, it's a different language and culture. When in bullying in my like generation, was very face to face. You know what I mean? Like, it was very like, it was a bit of internet bullying, and like the starting.
It was still new at the time,
But you didn't have. You had like MySpace. You know?
Oh, for your time.
My time.
I mean, I'm only like 5 years away.
Yeah. So, but
for us, it was like Ask FM. That was the big thing.
See, but the thing is, these days, kids like, you know, Instagram, TikTok, like all Snapchat,
all this everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like platforms that I don't even use. So it's like I was never even across what was happening. But dude, you'd get a report of bullying, and some kids like photoshopped another kid to make his head look massive, and you're like,
it's kind of funny, but like,
but you can't, like, you can't encourage it. Okay. But it's ruthless for these kids. You got to remember, like, they're kids, man.
Yeah.
And so, like, you got to deal with that, and then. Anyway, it got like pretty full on. So I'm grateful to have been a teacher, but I'm also grateful to step away from it. And who knows, I might go back. Never know. But right now, like, stand-up comedy is taking up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
And like all of my passion. So
was that like the reason why you were sort of starting to pivot towards media? You were like, there's a lot of work involved with teaching, but then I kind of want to pursue, I don't know, was that like your passion at the time of working?
I mean, else? I could have also, I was very happy to do teaching and stand up at the same time. But the thing that makes it really hard, and I probably would have eventually had to leave teaching, was that teaching takes so much time. Like, for stand up, you have to tour. Like, it's a big thing. Yeah. And like, touring means, for example, Melbourne International Comedy Festival happens every year at around March, April, but it's a whole month. And you can do like 2 weeks, like a half run. You can do shows just for 2 weeks, but like, I like doing the month. It's really fun, but it's hard to take a month off work.
Oh yeah.
You know, you just can't.
That's all your annual leave.
Yeah. That's it. And also, like, I'm doing Edinburgh. Like, Edinburgh Fringe Festival is also a month.
Yeah.
So if you take up all the dates for touring an entire year, it's a lot of leave. So I guess the only way to do it would be if I were to become a casual teacher.
Yeah.
But even then, that's hard, man. It's like, being a casual teacher is rough. You haven't built the relationship with kids that you do when you're like proper full time, and like, kids can be like ruthless as well. Real, I mean, talk about face to face bullying. They'll get you.
Even more.
Well, the other thing is, I don't even know. I'm curious to know what it's like, but I haven't gone back to teaching since I've like sort of started growing a following online. And I don't even know what that's like. Because when I was a high school teacher, in the social media policy, I don't know if that's changed. You weren't allowed to have a public profile.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you like can't represent the school or like the DET in a negative light.
Exactly. So when I was doing stand up and teaching at the same time, and obviously I was only new in stand up, so it wouldn't have mattered. But I had a private profile.
Yeah.
So it made it hard to promote my shows. You know, if I was trying to do a show.
Makes sense, yeah.
And now, like, if I imagine going into a casual, like, teaching job, I don't know, just some random public school somewhere.
Yeah.
The kids could just look me up. And they could find
they could find you easily.
Saying, like, swearing and shit. Like, you're telling us not to swear, but you're saying cunt in this video. And I'm like, oops. Do as I say, not as I do. You know, it's hard. It's different. I'm curious to try it. I'd love to try it. Just to see what happens. But I don't know even know if they'll let me.
Yeah, I think you might have to preface that, like, I have a social media account that's quite public.
Very public.
But I don't know if they'll let you in if that's the case.
I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Well, luckily I don't have to, think about that for the immediate future.
Yeah. Okay. So I came across Harry's work initially when you did some MCing for Soul of Chinatown.
Oh,
I think it was about
amazing.
2 years ago.
Was that at a comedy show?
Yeah, it was a comedy show.
Was it
but you weren't
in the cinema?
Somewhere in Chinatown. That's what I remember.
Did it have line dances?
Oh, no, it was
Coventry.
Yes, there was line dances. I think the lead was Neil Kohatka.
Yeah, amazing.
And then Stella Wu was there as well.
Chris Nguyen, I remember that night.
I think those are the only names I remember off the top of my head.
So Soul of Chinatown, shout out, they're amazing. They do heaps to reactivate the Chinatown area, and they at the time for Lunar New Year held this comedy show it was called Playhouse. It was like this old cinema that they then converted into theater style.
Oh yeah. It was like at the corner, right, near that chicken store.
So awesome. And then they had lion dancers for the show as well, and I was emceeing, and I remember obviously they briefed me that there were going to be line dancers. I knew that, but then I stupidly, because I hadn't really liaised with the line dancers and how they're going to do it, I got trapped on stage because they came out and they were dancing, and I was meant to be like way off, but because they were like and then they were like around me, and I was like, oh fuck, like,
you gotta roll with it.
I just had to run. I'm like dancing, but I wasn't meant to be there, man.
Oh, I was meant to shift to the side.
So bad because it draws the attention away to this amazing line dance. But I remember that show was so fun. Had so much fun.
Yeah.
Also, you were at the show.
Yeah,
That's
but I obviously didn't sit at the front because this is actually like one of my first times at a comedy show. But my friend got tickets and he's like, "Yeah, we should all go." And he's been to a couple and he's like, "Make sure you don't sit at the front because that's where the hot zone is." And I was like, "Okay," so we sat like on the side, just on the back a little, and that's where I came across your work. But yeah, the comedy was it was quite new to me, the whole show, and I was just like, it was really interesting to see how a lot of comics worked with some of the material and also how they worked with hecklers, but there weren't many.
I think there were. I don't recall.
For that night, no.
Yeah.
But in terms of like other shows that I've been to, it's interesting to see how they work with like hecklers.
Wait, what heckles have you seen at other shows?
There's it's usually just people interrupting.
What do they say? What really? Because heckling isn't. I don't reckon it's that. Like I haven't really encountered much heckling.
Yeah.
What did they say? Like, tell me everything.
It's very vague, but it would have just been like they just kind of insert themselves in the convo. Do
they interrupt the comedian?
Yeah, sometimes.
Interesting, because it's funny because I feel like people who don't or aren't across comedy that much, they feel like heckling happens heaps.
Because that's where the clicks happen. Even with some of your videos, I think it happens quite often to you.
Well, okay, there's a difference now. See, this is where I have to make it very clear. There's a difference between crowd work and heckling.
Yeah.
Like, heckling is when, if I was doing a routine and then someone was like, just interrupted me and shouted something out to interrupt me.
Yeah.
That would be heckling. But crowd work is like, if I'm talking to someone and they respond, that's not heckling because I've invited it.
No.
And I like engaging with my crowd that way. Like, it's really fun to me. And I think some really fun special moments can happen when you do that.
Yeah.
But completely separate from like if I'm doing written material and it's someone that happened once.
Only once?
In this year in my shows on my tour.
Yeah.
And it was in Melbourne, and I was talking about the show Physical Asia, which is a show that I love. And this lady, and I've made a clip of it. This lady goes, "It was rigged, mate." It's like a reality TV show.
Yeah.
And it was the only time that I actually, in the past recent, I reckon, couple years, that I was like, oh, I'm getting heckled. Like someone's yelling this out. And it's funny because they weren't heckling me.
Yeah.
They were heckling the producers of the show. Like they were upset that the show was like rigged.
Okay.
It's got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking make the show. I didn't. You think I wrote the show? Why are you yelling that out? And so I said that to like, you know, in the performance. And like, at the end of the day, she wasn't like malicious. I think she just felt strongly about the show.
Yeah.
And so it was easy to deal with. But I don't think heckling happens that often, man. Unless, I don't know, it depends on also the kinds of shows you go to. Because sometimes like at open mics and stuff, there might be more heckling or whatever. But
I think I'm kind of getting a bit of a crossover with some of the crowd work. If people yell out things, I kind of consider that as like someone's interrupting or heckling. That's what I think it is.
It depends on like sometimes, like as a comedian, if you're doing crowd work, like if you invite that engagement of like talking to people, then that's not heckling. I would say heckling is something that diverts the show away from its intention.
Yeah.
So like if you're doing crowd work and people are chatting and coming, like that's fun and that's invited and that's all like consensually okay. Yeah. Whereas if you're even during crowd work and some other person yells something out, it's like, oh, that's heckling.
Yeah.
I've had shows where people were drunk and they shout something. That's heckling.
Yeah.
And that's stressful because as a comedian, you have to like, not only do you have to handle it to show that you've got control, you also have to be funny. Because if you say something lame, then the audience is like, this guy sucks. Yeah. He doesn't know how to handle this situation. But most importantly, number one thing of importance for me during it, like a bad heckle, is the comfort of the audience. Because if the audience feels uncomfortable, like, okay, in a scenario, sometimes when people are being shouting heaps, I've seen this happen. Comedians can just be like, shut the fuck up. Shut that person down. And then everyone else in the audience goes, yeah. Because they've been drunk and annoying all night. They've been drunk and annoying all night. And so when you say, shut the fuck up, it's like, but I've seen the exact same thing happen and the audience hates it. Comic goes, shut the fuck up. And it's too aggressive and it's too much. And audience is like, ooh, this guy is too much. And then the audience, because they feel a bit unsafe. Yeah. They feel like, oh, this comedian's like, will turn on you the moment you give them an opportunity. So for me, like comfort and because you got to remember, like the audience have paid money to laugh.
Yes.
And they don't always get that. That's the risk. It's really hard sometimes. But they shouldn't walk away from a show feeling like, oh, like I've paid money and all I saw was like a guy try some jokes, make us feel uncomfortable, and then left. Yeah. And I just paid, $30 or whatever. You're like, oh, it's a bit tough. So if you can make people feel real comfortable and deal with anything that comes up, and then try your jokes. I have a joke in my current show where I say, like, being a stand-up comedian, there's a bit of pressure because my job as a stand-up comedian is I have to tell you jokes to make you laugh. Yeah. But think about the language I have to make you laugh, right? Yeah. Like chefs make you food, but they don't make you eat. Do you know what I mean? Like that's a good way to put it. This is what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like it's different. Yeah. It's different. So I try to make sure my audience knows that like I'm not there to make you laugh. You make you laugh. I make you jokes. You guys, and if you don't, I don't care. That's okay. Yeah. I just hope by the end of the show you feel like you got your money's worth. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Yeah. And the thing is, I do remember what happened. There was I think it was an not open mic, but there was a lineup of people and it was a small venue. Yep. I remember Ian was hosting. And I think it's like a lot of local comics that just come up, test their material and stuff. And it's a small venue. And then I think there was like a group of like some drunk guys just eating and because it's not like a restaurant.
I might have done it. When was it?
Oh wait, yeah, I think you might have been there.
I think I was at the end.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, wait, yeah, no, you were there.
I remember. Okay, let's talk about this gig because it's really interesting.
I remember now.
It's interesting to be on both sides of it because I remember going in and I came a bit late. I was a bit late. Yeah, I remember why, but because I like to watch the entire show just to see what it was like. And I think I saw just in the middle of the first act, and I've done that show before, and I was like, immediately I was like, this is going to be a hard gig. It's going to be a hard gig.
Yeah.
Because I've done hard gigs before.
What makes it hard? Makes you think it might be difficult?
Well, first of all, when the jokes are good, but the audience isn't giving much, and I think when comedians sort of feel intimidated, sometimes they might crumble a bit, and then like they keep addressing the fact that the show's not going well.
Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah, right. It makes you feel weird.
Yeah,
and then also the audience is like, oh, they're kind of a bit yelly, a little bit like that. I feel like that's tough. And also sometimes logistically, like if the mic isn't, loud enough or whatever.
There was some problems, I remember. It was like a bit, makes that screechy noise.
Exactly, the
feedback, yeah.
I remember watching and go, okay, this is a tough gig. And because I was at the end, I have to really leave on a good note. And for me, when I get in those situations, I just have to do material, but I also have to show that like whatever's happening with the loud audience members, like you have to get them on side. So like maybe a bit of gentle roasting. I remember there was this one guy who I can't remember. I did some line where I think I made fun of him, and then I was like, and it got a laugh. But then I was also like, I'm very aware where we are, and I don't want to get stabbed because you look like you own about 47 knives. And he did. This guy was blinged out. He looked like a triad, bro. Like he looked scary. And it was one of those things where, yes, I'll make fun of you, and then publicly, not shame, but these people will laugh at you, but also show that like I understand, like it's all jokes, and I give power back. I'll be like, you're very intimidating. Do you know what I mean? I go, you're very intimidating, and I know that. So you know that I'm being cheeky, and I could see it in his eyes because in the beginning he was upset, but then he like pulled it back and was like, this guy's just fucking around. I mean, it's hard to be. I think the hardest part is being quick on your feet and being funny, but I think reading people is really hard because sometimes the jokes are good. Sometimes it's all, but like if you're not getting a good read on the audience, you don't know where the line is. Yeah. Where can I push this to? Like how far? Yeah, it's really important to gig in as many places as you can, I reckon, because then you can like learn where the line is in different places. Like I did that same gig out west. I've done it before a couple times, and I love gigging out west because like the sense of humor is different. Yeah. Sensibility is different. I think they're more keen for some like maybe rougher, edgier stuff. Like they're okay with it. Whereas, you gig in certain other parts of Sydney and it's like, maybe go cleaner, maybe go like do this. Sometimes I'll do gigs where the crowd is like, the median age is like 56. Well, this is the thing. Like, there's actually heaps. So, people, there's a lot of universal things that like people will find relatable and funny. It's just that's not necessarily my crowd, but if I want my job as a comedian to be like making people laugh, as I said before, you got to be a professional and make people laugh. You got to do the joke because you got to give people what they're paid for, and especially if it's a gig that I'm getting paid for, you can't just be like, well, I'm going to do things that I think are the fucking best and I'm going to make people laugh because this is what I care about. It's like, fine. Yeah. You might not get booked again because like the producer wants you to make them fucking laugh. That's your job. Do your job, man. Yeah, chef's not cooking. Chef's throwing the plate at the customer, an empty plate. Yeah, smashing the plate over the customer's head. So there are times where you can like stick to your own guns and have this artistic merit and be like, fuck you, I know this is funny and I'm going to throw it out there. I reckon. And there's times where it's a paid gig and you've got to do that. But there are other times where it's like, this is work, man. You have to do your job. I'm very fortunate in that I'm trying to build an audience where people, for this tour, I've been lucky that like the past couple cities have all sold out. And so these are all people that are coming to see me. It's a solo show.
Can you elaborate a bit about the show you're doing?
So my show, it's called Inside Jokes, Outside Voice. And it's kind of loosely based on my past as someone who grew up in Wollongong, like being a Korean Australian person. And but from all the clips that I've posted, people get an idea of who I am and the kind of comedy I do. So then when people come to my shows, they're getting what I hope, what they expect. It's a bit different for like the show that you went to, for example, which is a lineup show. Sometimes they don't even announce who's on the show. And sometimes, even if they announce it, you're like, I don't know who the fuck this person is.
Well, usually, yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. So you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
It's like a blind box. Like one of those Labubus. You don't know. Sometimes it's great, and you're like, this is exactly what I want.
This guy's crazy, bro. Like, this is free.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this guy's good. Yeah.
But then sometimes you didn't pay nothing, so you get... And, I like doing those rooms as well, and you get better, and I appreciate anyone that comes out. But I think it's so important to be grateful for an audience, be grateful that they're there, and hopefully give them what they ask for, because it's a service industry. You know what I mean? Like, and even if we talk about like size of audience, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, the dream is to perform to big crowds. Like, of course, that feels so good when there's big laughs. It's great.
Yeah.
But sometimes stand-up comedy is hard, man. And it's hard to break into the industry and establish an audience. So like I've performed to crowds for my solo shows. I've literally performed an hour show to 2 people.
It's so intimate. What?
Yeah. No, it's crazy, man. It's hard.
I hope they got the value.
Yeah. Well, I remember, and this is real. I made a joke about it, but I remember before the show started, I went up to him and I said, I'm so grateful that you guys are here.
Better than
do
zero.
You want to do this? I literally we can cancel. And they said, no, do it.
Do it, monkey. Like that.
Literally, well, they paid money. And the fucked up thing is, I thought that when we started the show, I thought they sat at the opposite ends of the row.
Oh, they went together?
They didn't know each other. This is real. I made a joke about it, but this is real. But I remember I did that hour and I was so grateful that they came to the show and they were like, please do it. And then like I did the show, and I think that really, it's very humbling. And you have to remember that shit, because like no one is entitled to an audience. Like you can grow it and you can hope that they come. And I'm lucky that this year people are coming to my shows, but I'm also, there's a voice in the back of my head that's always reminding me, it's like, that doesn't last forever. Unless you work hard to keep building, it could happen like in an instant that your crowd starts to shrink.
But what causes that? Like, how do you maintain a crowd and increase it?
I don't know, man. It's literally, that's the puzzle of this job, which is like, the only thing that's worked for me, and I don't know if I don't know. There's no trick. It's just I have to I make clips and I post them. So I write and perform the kind of stuff that I think is funny, and then I put it online, and then hopefully other people find that funny, and then I go, hey, if you find that funny, come to a live show. And then that's the only thing that I've found being effective in like ticket sales. Yeah. But man, it's even hard like online. Like I can't, if you ask me right now, if you said, Harry, what's the guaranteed thing to get like a lot of views on social media or a lot of likes? I can't tell you. I literally can't tell you. I haven't solved it, because I'll post something and it'll get 1 million views, and then I'll post something else that I think is funny. I think is equally funny. Yeah. 100 views. It's like,
it just fluctuates.
It fluctuates, and it's also good because you don't want to be like, if I had kept trying to chase the same thing, then it's just like, oh, you're posting the same thing over and over.
Yeah, you don't want to keep reusing content and recycling the same material.
Well, stand-up isn't like that. Like, I don't think it's meant to be that prescriptive and you know, it's almost safe to do that same thing over and over and over. And I think it's funny because in stand-up comedy, like, especially on social media, I think there are some comics that really hate crowd work because it's just like, there's no skill. You know, you just ask people, well, what do you do? And then you say something funny. And people just find it funny because, you know, it's in the moment, it's improvised. It's like, it doesn't take skill. You should write your jokes. And
that's a pretty big skill to improv that.
For me, I understand both sides of it, because for me, like, I like writing jokes and I love it when people laugh at the jokes that I've written, because that's one skill. But I also love doing crowd work. Yeah. Like, I love both. But at the end of the day, it really depends on what kind of audience you want to attract, because if I was putting up crowd work clips only, and then I attracted a crowd that only wanted me to do crowd work during my hour shows, I would probably dislike it. Because I've got written jokes.
Is there enough like content? Are you just going to talk to every crowd member?
Yeah, no, people do that. People do crowd work shows. It's possible, but I like writing shows.
Yeah,
and again, I've been lucky this year where I get to do both. But at the end of the day, despite everything, and like, you know, you mentioned the numbers at the start, all of that I'm super grateful for. But I think it's important, again, to maintain that attitude of like, I'm not entitled to anything. That's why when people come to shows, maybe they think it's like too much, but I always at the start of the show, like, thank everyone for coming. And I tell them, and I'll probably stop doing this, but I tell them about the time I did an hour show to 2 people. Like, I tell them.
I remember that. That piece now that you mentioned it.
I tell them, because that's real, man.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that. It's fucking hard. And that's why I like to support comedians who, you know, might not be selling well, but I know work hard and their stuff is funny, because that was me, man. Like, I did that.
Yeah.
I didn't sell well, and I'm still kicking, you know.
Well, the silver lining is 2's bigger than 0, because surely there are some shows where people
there were zeros.
There were zeros. Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah. There are zeros. I think that's part of it too. There's I was talking to another comedian who I won't say their name, but they had 0 sales. I think they were the show before mine in Melbourne. We're in the same venue.
Yeah.
0 sales for the next night, and they were like, "Oh, I think I should cancel." And I'm like, "Nah, don't cancel. You never cancel until right up until the show's meant to start, because some people could walk in."
Oh yeah.
And like, you should always try and give the opportunity to. But the other thing is, I think it's really good in this kind of messed up way. It's good to have the experience of having 0 sales at least once in your career. You have to know what it's like to not do well, because then when you get motivated and push really hard and then earn like an audience, you think back to that time, you're like, I really did it. No one else helped out.
Yeah.
You know, I've had so much help. I've been really lucky with, like, you know, so, you know, I've got management that do like a booking for festival, all that stuff I'm super lucky for. But at the end of the day, my following had to come from me performing stand-up, writing stand-up comedy, performing stand-up comedy, filming it, editing it and posting it. That was all me. And I feel very grateful that I put like all that time and effort into that part of it.
Yeah.
Because now it was a long-term thing. That started in August last year.
Yeah.
So it's like 8 months of work only to reap the benefits now.
And you probably wouldn't have much experience in editing beforehand. So you were like learning everything as you were going, right?
Oh man, yeah.
Like all the short form content, figure out what to cut, what to keep.
And the thing is, dude, it changes like that. And then it's like, you know, you start learning whatever people like the trends or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's gone out the window. So these days, man, like I think following a trend is fine. It's important. But also, for me personally, as long as I find it funny, that's all that matters to me. And that's why I'll keep up a video that doesn't do well. Other people tell me, who have much bigger followings than me, they tell me if a video doesn't go well, they like archive it.
I've heard of this, yeah.
Which is fine. But for me, like, I'm not ashamed. If it doesn't do well, like, I'm only putting things out that I like anyway. And if other people don't like it, then okay, fair. But I like it. And also, I put all this effort into it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it out there. Like, I don't believe in like gaming the system or whatever. It's like, I think people are very honest. If I put something out that they don't like, then they'll let me know by not liking it and sharing it. That's okay.
Yeah.
But I still like it. You know? And the only time I archive it is if I go, oh, I actually didn't like that.
After second thought.
or if I'm like, I can't, maybe I posted it just to keep up a post cycle.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was actually good. Then I'll archive it. But for the most part, like 99.9% of all my posts, it's like, I must like it first. And then if other people, great. But I don't know. You got to do things for yourself. Otherwise, I don't think it's easy to last a long time.
Well, the actual, we kind of broke away a little bit from the path, but that event
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're right.
The crowd was I think it was just one table that was the problem, just being a bit loud and
it was
interrupting.
Like a boys group,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. So you remember that? And I was next to them, or like 2 tables across them, and man, I was like, these guys need to like settle down. And I remember the host Ian was like trying to like ease it and just be like, in between acts, he'd be like, oh yeah, like settle down, guys, and stuff like that. And I just feel really bad when there's a crowd like that. So usually when I'm in a crowd, I know for comedians, they might try to find like a friendly face. So I'm usually smiling, and I like the jokes. Like even if it doesn't land well, I'm just kind of like, you know what? I kind of like the effort. So I'm usually smiling in the crowd. And I hope that helps.
You're we love that.
Yeah.
That's very helpful. It's because we notice that, and we're very grateful, because it's funny because like the bigger shows that you do, obviously you want to be able to tell people you are killed to everyone. But I've seen comedians who are like doing so well, but you can spot someone who's just like straight face watch, because it's not their cup of tea. Like it's comedy so subjective, and even if everyone's laughing, like I'm talking applause breaks and everything, there might be just one single person who's got their arms crossed and just not even laughing, just kind of staring at the comedian. And the thing is, it's so important to like, because comedians are so sensitive as well, and we're always like wanting more and more and more. And I've been that comic who, you know, you spot the one person who's not liking it, and you're thinking, fuck, I'm terrible.
Thing's over.
Yeah, it's over. But we don't do it the other way. I think we should do it the other way, where, you know, in a crowd, maybe there's hecklers like that show we did. Yeah. And if there's a group of people or just one person smiling and engaging, focus on that. That can be your lifeboat or whatever. And just keep going down, because it is a very brutal job to have sometimes. Yeah. Because the whole thing's about validation. And like, you know, where it's public speaking and there's so much risk for embarrassment. There's all that kind of stuff. But the thing that my fiance Jill is an artist, and so we're both in like creative fields. Yeah. What we remind ourselves all the time is that no one's putting a gun to our head to do this shit. Yeah. Like no one's forcing me to be a stand-up comedian. So if I'm choosing to be a stand-up comedian, I should have fun and enjoy it and be grateful and like do the best that I can. Because at the end of the day, if I'm bitter and resentful and I hate it, I should just go back to teaching. Because then I can make an income, live a good life, contribute to society, you know, do good things.
I mean, this kind of helps society.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying if I'm chasing it but like I'm feeling shitty about it, and I'm like I'm upset, I'm resentful, I'm jealous, I'm seeing other comedians do well. There's no one forcing me to do it. Yeah. Whereas that's why I love I'm so happy these days, because I have people are coming to shows and like it's good, and I'm so grateful, and I get to be silly and like tell jokes, and it's good now. So I want to enjoy it for what it is now, give that positivity out. I love sort of supporting my friends as well at whatever level they are. Like I love trying to be positive to them too, because I know how fucking hard it can be. Yeah. There's days where like I've seen comics break down, man.
On set, or are we talking about like
everywhere? Everywhere. Yeah. Off stage, on stage, you see it all, because it's a lot of like, you know,
kind of like holding it in, right? Like
you got to put on a brave face. You know, you could have the worst. You don't know. Sometimes the comedians have the worst day of their life. Yeah, but they've agreed to this gig and they have to do it, or they're getting paid, or it's in their contract, or whatever. Yeah, and they go up that you would never know, and they're killing, and they're doing really well, and then they walk off. And then, you know, you might spot them after the show. You want to go up to them and say hi, you know, and then they're really nice. And then they get into their car and they break down. Oh my God. That happens, man. And that's part of the job too. Yeah. My job is to make you laugh. I'm going to make you laugh. I can't, you know, go on stage and then immediately start weeping.
Talk about my divorce. Yeah. Oh my God.
I mean, some comics can do that and it's fine. But it's like, again, like it can be hard. Like you got to bottle things up. And the other thing I try to like encourage other comedians to do is like, it's okay to take some time away and heal and like focus on the priorities in your life. Like my priority will be my family and friends over comedy, and like, and over social media, all that bullshit, like that stuff doesn't matter. Like what actually matters in your life will punch you in the face. It'll smack you back to reality when you realize this is what takes precedence over all this other shit. And it's really good to be reminded of that, because like that's why I like hanging out with my best mate G, because he's not in the comedy industry.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give a fuck about any of that shit.
Even like what you do?
he cares. He cares. I mean, he cares, but I mean, not in the same way that a fellow comedian.
Yeah.
Like, what about the reviews? What about ticket sales? What about this? He'll just be like,
right.
you know, you
got a show on. Cool.
Yeah. He goes, you having fun? Yeah, it's cool. Cool. And then we start talking about real shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, that's what normal people are like. It's very good to be grounded like that.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I feel like if you hang around comics too much, because sometimes they get too resentful and, like, you know, bitter, and, like, you know, they're like,
yeah.
your sales are going good. Oh, congratulations on your review. Oh, and you're like, oh, what is this energy? What is this weird energy? Like, are you jealous? Or what is happening? Do you want to, you know, like, it feels weird sometimes.
It's like you're constantly talking about work.
Yeah.
So you want to be disconnected a little.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly it. It's the same for other jobs.
Yeah. You don't want to hang out with your workmates all the time, man. You're just talking about this Excel spreadsheet and the finances, the budget.
No way. I want to talk about video games, man. I love video games. I'm playing this new one called Saros. Do you know Saros? Do you have a PS5? Do you play video games?
I've got a PC.
Okay, it might come out on PC. Did you ever play?
That just came out. I remember.
Yeah. Did you play Returnal?
No.
Oh, okay. What kind of games do you like?
I've been on and off for League for a long time.
Okay, League.
I'm that guy.
Okay.
I'm that guy.
So you're real toxic. No.
Ooh, I was for a time. But
you have to be. If you're playing League, it's like a coping mechanism. Like, it's to stay in.
I stopped playing ranked. I just play the casual modes. But outside of League, I just do like the roguelikes card games, like Slay the Spire.
Snap. Yeah, Slay the Spire.
Best game.
Mugenics. You play Mugenics?
I haven't tried that.
Okay. Binding of Isaac. Do you know Binding of
Isaac?
Isaac?
Played that back like high school days.
Dude, the creator of Binding of Isaac made Mugenics, which is like a tactics roguelike.
I've seen
Tongue. You'll love it. It'll suck you in. You'll make you go. But yeah, I'm playing this new game, Saros. It's like a bullet hell, pretty roguelike, but it's made by this, I think, a Finnish company called Housemarque, and they played one of my favorite games of all time. It's called Returnal. But anyway, I just got started stuck into that, and it's like, I want to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
When I'm hanging out with other people,
yeah,
because that's stuff that's just fun.
Yeah,
you know, when we start talking about work, like you said, you can't disengage. You want to disengage.
Yeah, I'm always clocked in. I don't want to do that.
No, that's it, man. Like, and it might seem that's why, like, I feel like small talk is people kind of shit on it. Oh, what are you doing? He's talking about the weather. It's like,
if you're shit at small talk and that's all you talk about,
it's a break from work talk. It's a break from other shit. Like, I love small talk.
Yeah,
just any stranger, you just chat about fucking whatever. Bit hot today. Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's it. And you're like, we're not talking about fucking, my show's not doing well, or I'm not talking about how to craft the perfect opening joke, or all that.
Yeah.
You know, it's good. That's why, like, good to meet new people as well. To ask them about their job. What do you do? What's your hobby?
Yeah. Get
to know them, because, like, fuck all this other stuff distracts you from the priorities in your life.
All right, but going back your job again. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it again. Yeah,
that's why we're here. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So I know you incorporate a lot of your culture in your material. So with your current show, are you utilizing? I've seen some of your material before. So are you using some of that in this show? Or is there like new stuff about your culture?
There's a bit. There's a little bit. I would say it's so funny because, like, as a like an Asian Australian comedian or whatever, or an Asian comedian in Australia, like a primarily white dominated field, I remember starting out, people, like, if I did jokes about my race, this is a thing that people would say. It's like, one trick pony, or like, you're capitalizing on white guilt and this and that. And then you'd have white comics who are like, oh, if I was Asian, I bet I would like be X, Y, and Z. Or if I wasn't white, I bet I'd be like so good at comedy. And I'm thinking like, I don't know why they always think it's some kind of scapegoat or this other thing that I'm capitalizing or whatever. They would rather, not now. Now I'm learning, like I have a bit of like maybe a complex about it, about doing jokes about my culture, because it's like you don't want to be like seen as the ethnic comic or whatever.
Right.
And like, or you'd be afraid of like, no, I can do jokes that everyone can relate to and all that shit. I remember actually listening to, Aaron Chen?
Yes.
Incredible. He's incredible. But he did this podcast and he talked about how he actively went against doing Asian jokes or even jokes about being Chinese.
Right.
Because he didn't want to be, put into a box.
Right.
And I mean, look at him now, he's incredible. But also, like, I know now that like he has a couple jokes that refer to his Chinese heritage. And I feel like because I used to really be sensitive about, maybe I shouldn't do any jokes about being Korean. Now it's like, fuck, man, it's who I am.
Yeah.
It's just like any other person talks about their life. I don't want to talk about my life.
Yeah.
So now I've come back around to not really giving a fuck. Like I don't do a whole show about being Korean.
Yes, I remember that.
Like I don't do like
part of it.
Yeah, I'm not like, my title my show The Supreme Leader. You know what I mean? Like it's not
The Supreme Leader.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not. I don't feel like I have to push on it that hard. But it's also a part of who I am. So if I'm talking about stuff that's happened to me in my life that has to do with my heritage, of course I'm going to bring it up. Yeah, it's just come back around to being like, this thing happens, and so I'm going to talk about it, and it's about being Korean.
Yeah, it's not the type of joke where it's like you'd only understand if you were Korean. Because like everyone understands, I know one of your jokes is like the Korean heart thing.
Yeah.
And I love that because most people do know of it that aren't Korean. It's like pretty embedded in culture and media. But it's the fact that everyone can, if they don't, they can get on board with it pretty easily because you kind of explain where it comes from. They learn a bit and then you go into the bit about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of what you were talking about with jokes about your culture, in the last episode I had with the two other comics, David and Ian, they always spoke about it's quite negative when comics go for like low-hanging fruit jokes. We didn't call it at the time. Like I was trying to think of the name for it, but they were just saying like, oh, it's one of those jokes. But then now I remember it's low-hanging fruit. So for example, when you talk about Bankstown, I can get stabbed in Bankstown or something, for example. It's a pretty common joke, whatever.
Yeah.
Or like, Asian, eat dog, blah, blah, blah. So stereotypical. So what would you say is like a low-hanging fruit joke if you were to talk about culture, for example? It doesn't have to be exactly or something you've come across.
It's a good question. I think the low-hanging fruit jokes, I don't know if specifically for Korea, because like there haven't been many Korean comedians, I think. Just
the only one I know of.
Well, I mean, in Australia, there's a couple. It's like Michael Cho, so funny. He's fucking awesome. There's another one in Perth called Chris Shin. There's definitely a few, but there just aren't a lot of Korean Australian.
Not many. Yeah.
Even in the world, like Korean comedians, like like Margaret Cho, Bobby Lee. There are a few, but like I think things become like the fruit becomes lowered, like it gets lower and lower and lower the more jokes that are out there, because the reason why they're low hanging fruit, they're easy jokes, is because they've been told so many times,
right? And
they've been repeated so many times. I think. I don't know specifically for Korean. I guess if you touch on like a really mainstream, like common things, like maybe like I think people are across things like Korean barbecue. They're across all this stuff, But at the same time, like because there aren't many Korean comedians, like I do jokes about that, and I don't feel ashamed about.
Yeah,
because some people aren't doing jokes about that shit.
Now that you mention it, in terms of that, I haven't really heard of many.
Yeah, but I think to me, the whole low-hanging fruit thing, I agree with. only in that like it's not as fun to do those jokes, and there's less pride because if it comes easily to you, like like writing a joke, like the craft of writing and rewriting a joke is really fun, and testing it and seeing like how do I try and add a bit more nuance, or is it this and that? Like if you have a joke and like it gets a big laugh and it's like low effort, it's not as fun as when you've got a joke that you really worked on and then it gets that big laugh. Like that's the fun of it to me. That's why like I don't know, maybe I have some low-hanging fruit jokes, but at the end of the day, I still enjoy writing and performing them. So, I mean, I can't even tell you the answer to that question. Like, what are it's real hard. I think, like Asian stereotypes. I try not to do any jokes that'll throw Asians under the bus.
Yeah.
I don't do jokes about, like, Asian, like, accents and shit like that. Like, that's just not really... My goal is not, like, I don't want audiences to walk out of my shows and then, like, saying some racist shit. Yeah. Like, giving them permission to say racist shit. Yeah. Because I feel like some I've seen some comics out there go on stage and say shit, and they're Asian, but they'll say shit that's like, that's just racist.
Yeah.
But like, you know that coming out of you're allowed to say it. But the thing is, when the audience laughs, they're laughing at the racism. They laugh and they're like, ha ha ha, that's, oh, you're ha. And then when they tell their mates that shit, it's just encouraging racism. Whereas like, you should try to do the other thing, where like you subvert it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And like make fun of racism and like disempower it.
Yeah, true. So for your routines, how important is it for you to share your culture? Because you're saying there aren't many Korean comics in general. So I think being able to share part of your culture with your routine would help a lot with bringing that to light.
I agree. It's kind of tough too though, because there are so few of us, there's a bit of pressure to be like this representative of an entire country. But the irony is, like, and this is true of every country, every ethnicity, it's like so nuanced. Like people are like, I don't represent Korea, I don't represent Australia, I'm a Korean Australian. And like, once you narrow it down, even amongst Korean Australians it's even lower. And then even like my age demographic, it's even lower. And then it gets just more finite and smaller and smaller. That like, I feel like I can't represent all of Korea, because there's definitely going to be a Korean person watching my shit and be like, what the fuck? That's not what we're like.
They're already thrown off by your accent.
Oh, yeah. All of it. This mullet, they hate it. Like, there's so much. So, but the other thing is, like, I feel pride where I'm getting more Koreans at my shows. I'm getting Korean Australian. I nearly brought me to tears. I got a bunch of young Korean Australians come to my shows. And then after the show, we chatted and they were like, we felt very validated and seen after seeing my performance. And they messaged me after, and I was like, this is so nice to know that, like, that's what it feels like to be like, oh, we can be funny, or we can be this, or we can be, they're seeing that. And like, because when I was growing up, there were any fucking Korean Australian comedians. There were none. There were none. There just literally were none. And so like, I feel so happy that people are happy with it. But when you take the good, you got to take the bad. I also know that there are going to be people who... I had one time after a show, I had this old Korean woman come up to me, man. She was waiting for me after the show, and I remember after the show she came... And this was a big show. It was like hundreds of people. For Lunar New Year, she came up to me after the show, and in Korean she said, you should be ashamed of like the stuff that you said about our culture.
Do you want to trigger some Korean listeners? Or what was the pronunciation?
It was the finger heart joke. You know the finger heart joke? It was that joke that she found. I was talking about penises and shit and like being crass, and she said I should lift my culture up and be proud of who I was. And the whole time I'm like, mind you, comedy's not for you. Like, I'm not doing jokes for 80-year-old Korean like geriatrics. Like what? But I was very polite. Obviously, I was like, "Oh, sorry, yes, okay, I'm sorry you felt that."
I feel a bit on the spot. Like, this is like, it's kind of like a parent at that age.
I found it very important because she told me not to do that joke again, and I didn't say that. I didn't say I wasn't going to do the joke again.
Yeah.
I just said, okay. Actually, I didn't even apologize technically.
Well, you just say, I hear you.
I said, well, yeah. I said, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know, what? Like, okay, thank you. And then she just walked off.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, it cuts both ways. Like to try and platform, you know, Korean Australians or Korean culture, there's always going to be critics. There's always going to be supporters. So
you can't please everyone.
You can't please everyone. I feel a lot of pride when I get to rep Korea and Australia. I think it's great. But also, I mean, I'm a comedian and like I'm just trying to make people laugh. As long as I don't do anything that's like a great shame to
you can be like on the nose and stuff, but as long as you're not just throwing everyone under the bus, that's a different story.
I'm not in my head about it. I just like, I know what I'm proud about being Korean Australian, and I know I'm always going to try my best.
Yeah.
And especially with social media, you learn very quickly, like, fuck, man, there's always at least one hater.
Oh, yeah.
And it's probably more than that.
Tell me about it, man. I'm a small creator. I'm already experiencing that. I'm like, it's crazy.
You get people like being like, and they will either unintentionally or intentionally misread whatever you're saying.
Yes.
And they'll say this, and they'll be like, you do this, and then they'll publicly be like, this fucking God. And the whole time you're like, I'm sorry I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah.
That was not my intention. I've been lucky that I get people in my comments. I have a joke about my TikTok algorithm is like it's quite queer coded. There's like a lot of queer, and like I fucking love it because the queer fashion sense is amazing. They're ahead of the game. And I had a comment in my clip that I put up of that routine, and they said, you should donate, like if you like it so much, you should donate to queer fundraisers.
What?
And do
you
know
that
what?
Even related?
Well, you know, because I'm in that whole joke is celebrating queer culture.
Yeah.
And I just said, can you recommend any? And they did, and I fucking donated. And like,
okay.
Well, I literally put my money where my mouth is. So it go, and they really appreciated it because they're part of that community. And I'm trying to enhance, and like, I really care about, you know, like making sure that everyone feels safe and comfortable and happy. And not that this person was trying to challenge and be like, well, if you fucking like the queer community so much, why don't you donate?
Yeah.
But it's not about that. Like, I didn't read it that way. I saw it as an opportunity to be like, you know what? Yeah, it's actually quite beautiful. And then I donated, and I put in my stories. I showed the receipt to be like, I actually did this and I was encouraging other people to donate as well. This is important. It was for the Trevor project, which goes towards LGBTQIA plus suicide prevention. And then that person DM'd me saying like, thank you so much for, you know, following through, doing all that. For the kindness. And I was like, don't thank me. I should thank you for advocating for your people. For speaking out, because that's fucking harder. It's actually easy to tell jokes and be like, queer people are amazing. Like, it's easy to do that. And it's also easy to donate. We should do that more. But it's actually hard to like step up and voice, you know, and try and empower a group of people who are fucking disenfranchised. It's crazy what's happening in America for these people. Well, across the world, it's fucking crazy. I got queer friends. The abuse and discrimination they face every day is awful. So like, why don't you, the fact that they stepped up and said something at a public platform too, I think is very like admirable. So it goes both ways. You can get haters, but you can also get people like that who are like so supportive, and I appreciate it.
Some of your posts do also highlight the Koreans in your audience, which is kind of funny. Because then you're like, oh, you guys are Korean, and then you guys just start talking Korean, and everyone's like, what the hell? It's like the funniest thing. So that is for me, I really have only recently had like Korean people come to my shows. And I think, again, it's to do with the following stuff or whatever, but I feel like it's like a way to, it's like community, like encouraging more Korean people to come to my shows and to show that they can have fun.
because, you know, on the one hand, when I say there weren't any Korean Australian comedians growing up, that means that there also just wasn't a lot of Korean comedy fans as well, because like, you know, stand-up comedy is growing in South Korea, but it's not at the same level as all these other countries. And so that also means that there aren't many stand-up comedy fans in Korea as much as other countries. So when I see stand-up, like an audience member that is Korean, I want to engage. I don't want to be like, sick, you know, thank you, speaking Korean, like, you know, speak Korean language. And despite the fact that 99% of the rest of the crowd don't understand what we're saying, it's like you and me.
It's a little moment.
Yeah, you and me. We're here, and I love that, you know?
Yeah. Who would you say would have been your inspiration when you were starting out your content?
Starting out, I think, my favorite comedian ever is this American guy called Mitch Hedberg. He passed away. Actually, he's been dead for a long time, like 20 years almost, I think, or 15, 20 years. Anyway, he is like this kooky one-liner comedian, so funny, so unique, and he died at a very young age. And then interestingly, my comedy is nothing like his. Like, it's very different.
More storytelling?
Mine's not as like concise. He does really short jokes.
Right.
But I also remember, speaking of Limewire from before, I remember when I was in year 7, so I was 12 years old, my brother had illegally downloaded Eddie Murphy's Delirious.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
His stand-up special. When he did that when he was like 20-something years old, so young, and he like sold out this massive theater. Also, the comedy on that special is like kind of like offensively.
It was not appropriate for a 12-year-old.
Well, no, but I mean, for today's standards, he's saying slurs and shit that you can't say now. Like, it's crazy.
Not PC anymore.
Yeah. Not even PC. It's just straight up like, I think even he would admit it's like, fuck.
Okay.
Yeah. Like homophobic shit. Meanwhile, he's wearing like a skin tight, like leather jumpsuit. Nice. And you're like, okay, Eddie, what's going on there? But I remember what I loved about Eddie Murphy's Raw and Delirious, the two specials, where he's like how animated he was, how much fun he was having, and it was like the way he could dive in and out of like stories and characters, and like I still remember all his routines. But that planted a seed in my mind of like, wow, stand-up comedy is so cool and so fun. And then I grew up to like kept listening and watching specials. Do you ever watch Russell Peters back in the day when YouTube was first starting? Dude, back in the day, Russell Peters had this YouTube special, or it was clips or something. And like I remember watching it, and it was, you know, the resolution was all shit. It was all pixelated.
360p or something.
It was fucking not even 360.
It was like 144.
It was so bad. But he was really like, he was so funny. Like he would do all these like, I mean, again, maybe wouldn't fly these days, but do all these accents and stuff.
Yeah,
he had a lot of deep knowledge of different cultures, which is awesome. And that was also really inspiring. I remember watching so many comics like growing up, and then never did stand-up comedy until I was in my fucking 20s, man. Like I was 9. So I was 26 when I started, which is late in the game for stand-up. But I drew all the inspirations from those comedians that I saw when I started out.
I can see what you mean, because when you're saying animated, I feel like on stage you do move around quite a lot. Your facial expressions, use it quite often. Yeah, I don't know. It's not. I guess it's part of who I am. I think. How can I put it? Maybe it's something I learned from teaching. Oh yeah. I could see it'd be quite engaging for students.
I like the physicality of showing. You know, when I'm talking, like I could just. I could do that.
What were you teaching, actually?
English.
That's not a very...
It's a very dry subject.
Exciting subject. So how did you make that exciting?
Oh, I remember I would do some crazy shit. Looking back, I don't even know if you could do it these days. So I was teaching Romeo and Juliet, right?
Okay, yeah.
And it was to like maybe 8th grade. I remember I found out that I think the drama or some department had these mannequins. Okay?
Yeah.
And so what I did was I dragged the mannequins into the classroom and I made them wear school uniforms and I sprayed fake blood everywhere. And
I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah, and then I because every classroom had a projector and I played like red, blue, police siren, like a
Oh
GIF.
my God, yeah.
And I had like the chalk outline of the bodies and I got the kids to walk in to this crime scene. So I made a modern version of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
And it was like, we have a teenage girl and a teenage boy. They're dead. There's a dagger and there's a little empty bottle next to this. And we have to build it backwards. So then we
solve the crime.
That's it. And obviously these kids knew that it was Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Like I gave them little police badges. I got little police badges and shit. And it was a fun lesson. But then literally looking back, I'm like, fuck, I don't know if you're allowed to do that. Like fake blood and shit. And like, yeah. So I would do silly stuff like that, you know, teaching.
That would really, like, that'd be like a core memory for them still, I reckon.
Yeah, but I don't even know if they learned much about Romeo and Juliet, which was my job. I was meant to be teaching Romeo and Juliet.
Well, it's the modern version, so I guess they know the different version of it.
Yeah, I just wanted kids to have fun, really. Like, my goal more was about well-being and welfare with kids, like, because I know it's like I had a shit time in high school, so I remember, like, you know, and it's good for these kids to know that, like, you know, your teachers are there to help you, and so that's why I cared more about having fun and like checking in on kids, making sure that, you know, they're eating, making sure they're like doing all the basics, you know. Yeah. And then, because really you can only learn if you're like, you've had enough sleep, you're eating, you feel safe, like all of that shit.
Yeah.
And the surprising amount of kids at the school that I taught at, like, didn't have some of the basic stuff. So the very least I could do was make sure that they could have fun, you know, 1 hour a day in my lessons, you know, investigating a fucking murder or something like that.
It sounds like you had a good time, but does that ever, I mean, you said you were looking at going back into teaching. Is that kind of why you want to get back into it? Like, you felt like you were inspiring a lot of kids and you had a lot of fun in the classrooms.
I guess so. I mean, I just enjoyed teaching. If I ever go back, I think I do miss being in the classroom. And like, it's a very fulfilling job. Like, you feel like you are, you know, helping. And, you know, comedy can do that. Like, I'm getting DMs from people saying, you know, really lovely things. Yeah. Especially if you do have like a sort of a strong socio-political message or whatever in your shows. But, teaching is different. Like, you're really, really actively contributing to society. Yes. I do miss that part.
Your comedy festivals, you've performed in a couple of them. Yeah. You said can you explain a bit more? So, like, Edinburgh, I think you were in a couple other states as well. You performed overseas, as mentioned. And I think one of your videos, you were like talking about how you bumped into a Korean person in your audience member in the UK, right? Mm-hmm. So, what was that like?
Amazing. That was last year. I was doing Edinburgh Fringe. I was doing a split bill show with another comedian, Jenny Tian. She's like a good man of mine. So it was me, Jenny Tian, and just a random white comedian that we would change every show. And the show was called Two Wongs and a White. And so each of us would do about 20 minutes. And I remember at this one Fringe, one of these shows, I just saw this guy at the front row and I was like, this guy is definitely Korean.
He's given a vibe.
Definitely Korean, because you can pick him out.
Yeah.
And I just asked him, I was like, oh, you know, what's your name? And he said his name, and it was a Korean name. Okay. And I was like, in Edinburgh? What the fuck? Like, I thought I was the only Korean guy here. Then we just started engaging in it, and like, it was such a fun moment for me. Yeah. And luckily that translated online. Like, I think a lot of people found it quite unique. Yeah. The thing is, like, the story got more interesting. He said that he was in Edinburgh because he was supporting his friend who was in a musical. And his friend, he said, was North Korean. And I was like, what? They found a North Korean to do this play? What do you mean? And then It turns out the guy was actually Welsh. His was raised in Wales.
What does he mean by North Korean then? His parents?
His mum escaped North Korea. So he's still not, I mean, he's still North Korean.
Yeah.
But it was just a funny way to end that thing. Like he's actually Welsh. He's like a Welsh Korean, Welsh North Korean. But that it's so fun. It's so fun. These moments you can have, man, like overseas.
And they came across your show.
Yeah, I think I should have asked how they found out about our show, but Edinburgh is really cool because people just kind of like rock up.
Yeah.
It can be also brutal because you got to do things like flyering. You're just on the street, just like handing out flyers, asking people to come to your show. But we were lucky because that show was a free Fringe show. So they have like shows where it's obviously you buy tickets and you go, and then you've got sort of like an in-between where you can pay tickets, but the ticket price is really low. And then at the end of those shows, you ask for like donations. And then you have completely free, which is like free entry. But then at the end of the show, the comedian will be like, hey, like if you like the show, you know, put some coins or some foldable notes into a bucket, or like the tap, you can tap a bit of money.
Nice.
So our show was in the middle where you could like pay, it was like $5-10 on the show.
Yeah.
And then at the end, we were like, if we think this show's worth X, Y, and Z, come through. So a lot of people just walk up and be like, oh, this is only a couple bucks. Let's go see it. And it was incredible. I'm going back this year with my own solo, and I can't wait.
How's that going? Is that a lot of promise, not 2 seats only, or
so far? No, it's tickets are selling. It's crazy. Good. Yeah, I can't believe it. Like, especially for shows months away, I think pre-sales are like so rare. But for me to have that, and what are we, May, June, July, like 4 months away is like, oh, can't believe it. Crazy.
I assume it gets quite expensive having to fly out to the UK. Because that's like what, at least $2,000 return on economy?
Oh man, it's the whole thing. I'm definitely gonna lose money. Even if I sell like all the tickets.
And you gotta pay for accommodation. Yeah. Like surely it's
But the thing is though, I feel like every time I've gone to Edinburgh and come back, I feel like I've been able to get better at comedy.
Yeah, you're getting something out of it.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying like I'm coming back funnier, but at least you get more experience. And it's really good to see other comedians as well, because you've got some of the best in the world performing in Edinburgh. Coming all like, sometimes from all the way from the US, and like it's really cool to see, because also in Edinburgh they have shows at like 3 p.m. Like it's not like all night shows.
Yeah.
What shows it? Our show that we did, that 2 Wongs and a White, was at like 12:30 p.m. It was like noon.
On a weekday?
Weekday.
Who's coming to the shows?
Dude, it's sold out.
10 people work?
Dude, all 10 shows sold out, man. And it was a 110-seater.
Yeah.
So it was pretty hectic, man.
How do people find time to just leave on lunch break and just see a comedy show?
Okay, the Edinburgh Fringe, the population of Edinburgh increases by 500% in the month of August. That means people, it's not just the locals. You've got people coming in to go to the Fringe.
Oh,
that are on holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's amazing. You should go.
To the UK?
Well, why not? One day, just rock up. Go in like a couple of weeks in August. Go watch some shows. Check it out. It's beautiful. You see the castle. Go up Arthur's Seat. It's a hike. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You'd love it.
Europe's on my, not really high priority on my list.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because it is quite a commitment to go that far.
Yeah,
and it's like, if I go to Europe, I may as well go to everywhere else.
Of course.
And then I'll just go to like, I don't know, Ireland, and then go to like, I don't know, see Norway, the Northern Lights, etc. and all that. And Germany and all that, Netherlands. So if that would be on my list, I'd have to at least budget like 20 to 30K.
Man, it's it's a lot. It is a lot.
And I heard the food there's quite expensive in the UK.
Oh yeah.
Like for a pub feed, let's say like just a schnitty and schooner or something. How much are you paying?
Could be like $30 to $40.
That sounds kind of similar here though. In the CBD, that's on the high end.
Yeah. It's pretty similar. Like the thing is though, it's just like anywhere. Like you can figure ways around it. There are places that like do cheap eats, and also, but like when I'm there for a month, like I'm cooking. Like I'm not,
Oh, do you have a place to stay, like a mate's or something, or?
Yeah, I've got accommodation there, like already pre-booked and everything. It's student accommodation that they have during the. I guess the unis are on break or something, but yeah, like literally
they offer that just for anyone.
Yeah. Well, it's good pay for them. If students aren't staying there, then they offer it to the comedians.
Is it a private room, or you're in a bunk bed with like 5 other people?
No. You get your own room. Yeah, you share like it's like an apartment that has like 4 rooms.
Yeah,
you have your own room and then a shared living sort of situation.
You have your own bathroom?
No, we'll share the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I'm not too precious about that.
Yeah, you gotta cut costs. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Jason, what a great tea party this is.
Hello, Tung. Yes, it is. If only there was some way of preserving the memory of this great party.
That would be a great idea.
Let me try to call someone on my new iPhone 17 512 gig in white with 2 cameras. Hang on, I could just contact Son of a Booth right now. That would bring the photo booth to your event using a professional DSLR camera and studio lighting.
Wow, that sounds amazing. What else?
Unlimited prints and sessions. A friendly booth attendant.
Oh,
instant QR download straight onto your phone.
That's incredible. Do the people listening to this podcast get any bargains?
Well, I just got off the phone with the CEO. Anyone that mentions Rice and Mike's podcast will receive 15% off.
That's incredible. That is a huge savings as well if you've got a wedding or some sort of event like that. All right, enough of this ad. Let's go take some high quality photos now and preserve these memories.
Let's go. Insert camera pun here. Please edit later.
We've spoken about your performances as a comic and also as an MC. How different do you find the two? Like when you were hosting, does it feel different? Feel better?
Yeah, it's definitely like being an MC for a comedy show is like a longer engagement. Obviously, you have to be there from the start to the end, and you're responsible for like warming up the show and like. There's a lot of little things I think you can do as an MC that'll make the job easier for the comedians too. Like sometimes up top, some MCs don't do any crowd work; they just do jokes, and some do maybe too much crowd work, arguably. But I think up top for me, when I do crowd work as an MC, it's to get a gauge of what kind of audience it is.
Yeah,
because sometimes like you can be like, you might have seen this. Some MCs go, oh, like make some noise if you're in a couple tonight, or make some noise if you traveled from really far. Like it's just gathering data.
Yeah,
because I know what it's like to be on the lineup. And I'm very grateful for when an MC does that, because then I'll be like, oh, they're going to like these jokes.
That's what they're doing.
Sometimes they're just doing it.
That's smart.
But the other times it's like there's a functional use of it. Yeah. And it's to get information. I think it's useful. Sometimes, like, let's say if you're a comic, okay, if I know some comedians on the lineup are going to be a bit blue, like a bit dirty, have a bit edgier, darker, and maybe more graphic or sexual jokes, if I'm the MC up top, I'll either do crowd work and try and get a gauge of if they're up for it, or I'll throw in, I have a joke about sex, I'll throw that out.
Yeah.
And see if they bite.
Oh.
At the very least, it'll warm them up to the idea that, oh, this, the comedians tonight will tell some jokes about sex. Like, okay? Because that's useful too. I learned that watching comedy, and I learned that watching really good MCs. They will do that stuff to let it prime the audience. Because if I went up there as an MC and I did really clean jokes, and then the first comic has like 7 minutes of like cunnilingus jokes or some shit, eating ass, then it's like, what the fuck? What have we done? Like, you have a responsibility as an MC.
Yeah.
That's, I think, maybe a lot of the pressure. If you're MCing these comedy shows, you feel like, I feel guilty too. Like sometimes the comics on the lineup won't do well. And I feel like I didn't warm the audience up as well, or as well as I should have. It's definitely, I feel a bit more pressure as an MC. Whereas if I'm just doing a spot on the lineup, it's just, you just go do your material, do your best. And if it goes well, great. If it doesn't, whatever. But funnily enough, I never blame the MC if I don't do well on a show, like, and someone else is MCing, because it's like fucking whatever. But I reckon MCs, if anyone's listening, I think MCs feel that. They feel a bit of responsibility, like, especially for the first comic. Like, if I didn't warm the crowd well enough and the first comic gets out there and doesn't do too well, you're like, fuck, I should have warmed them up. But the other thing is, you have a time. You can't spend too much time up top.
You're going to eat into their time.
Yeah. So there's a lot of spinning plates. You got to be like, oh. And whereas a spot, you just, you go in.
Yeah.
Do jokes.
Yeah, you went in like, I think there was a lot of build up to having an inside joke with the audience when you did it at Solar Chinatown. I don't remember what it was at the time, but it was like, there was a certain person, and then like you just make a joke about how they did something or something, and then it was just really interesting how you're able to build that just within like the hour we had.
Yeah, right.
For the show.
Yeah.
So you talk to some of the crowd like, oh, okay, what do you do, this and that, and then they might have revealed something, and then you kind of call back to that thing they mentioned before later on when you're like in between acts, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that's cool too. It's a fun little way to keep the audience engaged, but it's also like callbacks like that are good because we forget things so quickly, especially in the social media landscape where it's like new.
Yeah.
So it's like I try to keep a track of like things that happened in a show, just to remind them like, hey, wasn't that a special moment? Like, wasn't that a special moment 4 minutes ago? Remember?
It was, yeah. I know you work with the ABC and creating pretty like safe work content. So do you find it a bit challenging when you have to like switch between the safe persona versus like, you might be a bit more adult side, swearing a little, talking about things? Is that?
No, I think it's good to have different parameters for different contexts, because it's like working out a muscle that you don't often work out, and it only gets stronger the more you have to fit a specific brief. It's like occasionally I get booked to do clean like sets. Like I had to earlier this year, I did this big event over in Canberra for the national. I forget the name. Anyway, it was like this career event, and I was MCing it, but they also asked me to do 20 minutes of clean comedy, and
was that the Korean Film Festival? Or was that something else?
No, I've done that. That was something else that I've done. But even that, I have to be clean, right?
Oh,
a lot of corporate events, I have to do clean.
Yeah.
And clean doesn't mean just not swearing, because I have a joke that has to do with sex, but and there's no swearing in that, but that's not clean. Like you know what I mean? So you can't just take out swears from a joke and be like, that's okay. No. So working clean and working with strict sort of rules, I think is good, because the fact of the matter is I feel like a clean joke can work in a room where they have heard swears, but it doesn't work the other way.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just a good thing to have and a good challenge. So I don't mind it at all. I don't feel like creatively stifled or anything. Like it's good to have that push.
In the last episode we had with the other comics, they said, I'm sure you agree, is that it's easier for a clean comic to write dirty jokes versus a dirty comedian to write clean jokes.
I think you should always try to do both. You could always and experiment with, like, sometimes jokes don't need the swears. Sometimes you're just saying that out of habit, and you're actually like ruining what could be a really great moment because you had to swear.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's funny because like in routines, you see comedians do a routine and they swear and they're like, oh, they felt very natural. Wow. And then you see them do it again and then they say exactly the same words and they swear at the exact same time, and you're like, wait, this is all scripted. Even your swear, even when you go fuck, and like that's
okay.
And I think that, then you can lose the magic in that. Like you want it to be organic. I think it's nice when it feels like it's really natural. But like, I mean, I say all that and I do it. I'm swearing.
What was the gig you were doing at Canberra exactly?
It was for the Korea festival.
Yeah.
And so it was just this big event, and I had to introduce like a bunch of, it was like an outdoor stage. So there were kids there.
Yep.
So that's why I couldn't, swear or anything, but it was fun. I have a bunch of clean jokes, so I just did them.
What jokes do you have that relate to the kids so they can understand?
I did jokes about stand-up comedy. I did jokes about how it's hard to be fun, we talked about stuff like that. The thing is, it's not it's not that they asked me to do jokes for kids. It was doing jokes with with the fact that like being mindful that there will be kids around.
Okay.
So I have jokes about that are not relatable to children, obviously, but that just aren't inappropriate. But no, that was really fun. I actually had these kids. This was actually heckling. This kid was so funny. I was doing a joke, and then I kind of started talking to one of the kids, and then he just not answering my question. I think I was just like, what's your name? And instead he just blurted out. He goes, "Is your mum picking you up after this?"
Oh my God.
Which is so adorable.
Yeah.
And it's also, no, my mum is not. I'm 35.
Yeah.
But it got a big laugh, and I was like, oh, I hope your mum picks you up right now. I mean, and we had a fun moment, and then like that got a laugh, and I was like, oh, it's crazy for me to be roasting a 4-year-old, right? Yeah. But then this is what he said. He goes, "I'm 6." It was beautiful. It was so funny.
Very organic.
Yeah, I loved that whole scenario, and it had to be clean.
Outside of being a comedian, you have run a podcast as well.
Yes.
Similar. It's called the Kimchi Podcast for SBS Radio.
Yes, Say Kimchi.
Say Kimchi.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been worked on as much these days, I think.
It was just a short run series.
Okay.
So it's 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Just to do with like diaspora Korean communities. So like we did one on like a coffee roastery from in the city. It was like Korean run. We did a Korean basketball athlete.
Nice. Yeah. And who was it with? Sorry, just for
context. It was
context.
my mate Shona Yang. She runs this account called Cozzycom.
Cozzycom, yes.
Yeah, which that sort of elevates Korean Australians and what they're up to. So.
Yeah. Are you working on anything else apart from what we mentioned? Anything hidden?
No, hidden, upcoming, not really. Oh, like I'm always working on stuff. I don't like announcing. There's some people that announce things. It's just like, oh, I'm working on this, and then like
I'm going to the gym, and then you just stop.
Well, I can just do it.
Yeah,
and then put it out when it's done, and it's like, or don't do it, and that's okay. So that's where I'm at now. Like I got some stuff I'm looking forward to working on, but I'm just not really announcing because I don't really like unless it's. Like it's different when it's a tour because like you're definitely going to do that.
Yeah. And
like, I'm definitely going to be there, and I just got to let people know that it's happening. But like in terms of projects and stuff, I just when things are done, I put it out, and then that's it.
So right now it's just the SBS, ABC.
Oh, not SBS because that one's done. That short series is done. It's just ABC creator stuff. Then my stand-up touring and clips. I'm going to Edinburgh.
Can you elaborate where else you're heading? The dates, potentially, locations?
So when does this podcast come out?
I've got one to edit.
Yeah.
In between this, and then I'm going on holiday in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
So it might be like mid-June.
Mid-June.
Maybe.
Well, then Sydney Comedy Fest is already done. So yeah, it'll be my next one will be August.
But at the time of recording, we can say that anyway.
Sure.
So,
yeah. Well, my very next gig is 9th of May, Sydney Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
It's the only, like all the rest of the shows are sold out, so I added a show at the Sydney Comedy Store. And then I'm going to Brisbane, like towards the end of May. And then it'll be on the road for Melbourne Comedy Festival Roadshow. And then Edinburgh in August. So I'm pretty much there for the entirety of August.
How do you keep the cost low when you're traveling this much between cities and stuff?
Great question, Tom. Great question. Oh, look, I budget, and I like obviously the day job at the ABC. I'm saving that money to be able to tour.
Yeah.
And then obviously depending on how the tours go, like selling well and whatever.
Just
that eventually
hope
comes
you
up.
know someone and can couch surf or something.
Oh, I mean, the accommodation is the hardest. Accommodation is the hardest. Yeah, it's real hard to get cheap accommodation anywhere. But look, that's part of it, man. You got to, you know, until you get to a point where you don't have to, you got to, you know, do the hard slog and spend the money.
Do you usually fly between states or you just drive?
No, I'm flying. Yeah.
What would you say would be a point in your career that you can say that you've made it as a comedian?
Oh my God. That I've made it. That's too hard, man.
Too broad?
I just feel like comedians that I know, like a lot of them, it's very easy to always want more. You know, bigger venues, you know, more tickets, doing this, opening for huge acts and like doing all that. I don't know if I'll ever feel like I've made it. And I'm not trying to say that being like, you know, my aspirations are so high. It's more like, I guess technically I'm in it right now. I'm really lucky that I get to do this now and I'm doing it. Not to say that I've already made it, but I'm like, I'm making it. I'm making jokes. I'm, you know, in it right now. I don't know if I'm doing well, like as we said, like, you know, when I go to Edinburgh, I'll probably lose heaps of money there, right? But right now, the fact that I get to do this now is the only thing that I'm grateful for. I don't know about the future. It's none of my business.
Maybe if you have like your own Netflix special, how about that?
Sure, I guess so. I don't know. I feel like quantifying it like that will only make me unhappy. Because I used to do that, and there's a thing of like, once you've achieved that thing that you like establish, you're like, well, what now?
That's why midlife crises happen.
Sure.
Because when that's why there's a whole phenomenon about when, you know, the man of the house, he pays off the house, it's all done, and then he's like, I don't know, 45, 50, and then he's like, what do I do now? Yeah. That's why he buys the jet ski, the sports car.
That's it.
Yeah.
Has a mental breakdown. I just feel like it's good to have those goals and stuff, but never like a thing that'll be this flagship. Like, once I've done this, I've conquered my career. Like, fuck, that would be so hard to resolve that feeling and be like, oh, so I'm always trying to like add something new. I think for me, it's like creatively, like.
Do you say like goals?
Yeah, like I would really like to make more online content. I'd like to make more skits. I would like to collaborate with like more like fun, cool people that I really admire. Like stuff like that is what keeps me afloat. In terms of like Netflix specials and all that shit, like that's cool. Like obviously that's great, and like it's incredible like to know people who have achieved that and stuff. But like and I'd love to one day, of course. But those grand goals and all that stuff, like I've never been that kind of guy to be like, oh, I'm gonna, even with like social media stuff. Like obviously, I've always wanted a following. But I was never like...
It's an impressive following.
Well, but I've never been like, oh, you know, I need to get 50,000 followers. Or I have to get 100,000 followers. I've never been like, I don't give a fuck about that. It's like, do you know what? It's better is like when, you know, you post and someone likes it, maybe they comment or DM. It's like, oh, cool. Okay. I'm still being funny. Great. And the other thing is, I know heaps of people with like large followings and they don't... It's a job, man. It's not like, it's not all that.
Yeah.
Like even having 1 million followers or whatever, it's like, it's pretty tough. It's not as good as you think.
You got to post every day, keep them there. They're going to unfollow you.
And there's a pressure because like, you know, you got these 1 million followers. What if the following goes down? So instead, it's better to be like, oh, I think it'll be fun if I made this.
Yeah.
I want to make this, you know?
That's a good mindset to have. Yeah.
I guess so. It's also just life. You know, it's the best way to live life because, like, man, otherwise, like, why the fuck are we doing this? Why am I like, I just want to make cool shit that I think people will find cool, and then hopefully they do. And then once that well runs dry, if it ever does, then I'll just switch. I'll just do something else.
Well, what do you think would you be doing without all this stuff?
I'd go back to teaching. The one thing that I really want to do, and it's so hard to break into that industry, is I want to do voice acting.
Oh my
I
God.
love cartoons.
That sounds, it's very hard.
Oh, so hard.
Because like you got to have like a portfolio somewhere.
That's it. A portfolio, reel, like all that.
And then they got to listen to it. I don't know how agencies find you and stuff. And then
there is a thing I found on Reddit, which is like, it's called, what is it called? It's like free voice acting or whatever. But basically people who are starting like their projects, their cartoons or whatever, they'll put up, they'll be like, I need a male voice to do this character. And it's all unpaid. But it's a way to build up like a resume. Yeah. So I'm hoping to do that. Get into like, you know, voicing some characters. The only thing is, I reckon for the larger, like if we're talking about the broad sort of cartoon animation industry worldwide, I reckon Australian accent's very rare. Yes. And for the zeitgeist of like cartoons, if you're going to have an Australian voiced character, it's got to be some fucking kooky character. You know what I mean?
It's always
some
the same
freak or or whatever, or it's an Australian cartoon or whatever.
One of those animals or something.
Yeah, or something. But I wanna try that because I feel like that would be really fun, and it'll also like test a different skill set for me.
Can you do any good voices? Let's say I don't know, any cartoon character, because I feel like if you want to voice cartoons, then usually the voices tend to be a bit unique in a sense that you have to like strain your voice in a certain way.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I think sometimes people ask for voices though, and you're like, you know, it's like the descriptions I saw on this subreddit are like, you know, you're playing like a 40-year-old man who, you know, is a bit like rough around the edges.
Oh, okay, yeah,
stuff like that. It's not
sort
like
of standard characters.
Yeah. So, and the other thing is, all you can do is try. You got to try. Like I've auditioned for stuff as well. I actually got pretty far into one of these auditions as well. So, I mean, I didn't get the job, but still, like, there's something there. It's just a skill I have to work on. So, yeah, I'm excited to keep going on that.
Yeah,
trying.
Interested to see where it goes. Yeah. So just a few other quick questions. Is there a joke or show that you're most proud of?
Joke or show that I'm most... Well, I really like the show that I'm doing now, and that's not just because I want to sell tickets. No, the show that I have now is I think has my favourite ending to a show that I've ever done. And I can't reveal it because then it'll just spoil the whole thing. But I'm having so much fun with the ending, and I think it's something that people aren't expecting, which is... and also it's a little unbelievable. So when I do the ending, people are like, wow, you're like, wow. So it's really fun because when you have something like that at the end of a show, like you always have something to look forward to when you're performing it. So, and the reactions to it have been so fun. So I really love my current show at the moment.
Is there only one Sydney show left next week?
Only one Sydney show left because all the other ones have sold out, and it's on a Saturday. At 5:15 p.m. Are you looking
next week?
Yeah, they're coming. Yeah, literally a week from yesterday.
Yeah, from when we're recording. Yeah. So it would be 9th of May.
Yeah,
I have nothing on. Oh, we should go.
If you want to go, yeah,
let's go.
Hopefully, then you can, a testimony. Maybe you record it as well. You be like, shit, guys. It was actually not that good.
Just the caption.
Yeah.
Narrator. It was not good.
Yeah, it was not as good as he was saying. Yeah, no, I really enjoy it.
Where's the venue?
At the Sydney Comedy Store. It's like Fox Studios, Eastern Suburbs.
Okay.
Might be a bit of a trek for you.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, I'd be sick if you can come. Yeah.
Okay. And how about the worst gig experience?
The worst gig experience. Yeah. I haven't had a lot of gigs where I was like, oh, that was the fucking worst.
I feel like open mics, like when you first start out, they can be pretty rough.
Nah, I mean, they can, I agree. But also they can be really fun because you don't have a baseline to compare anything to and you're just experimenting. So it's like really fun. I feel like you achieve them, just like in any new skill that you're learning, you have the most progress in your first few years. Because I remember such fun memories of open mics. You're just going out there and I think my comedy was horrific. Horrific.
What kind of material are we talking about then?
I can't even remember. I just know that I obviously wasn't good at it because I just started.
Yeah.
But like you learn so quickly, I feel, when you're just doing open mics and like watching other people. The other thing is, man, I remember doing open mics that had like fucking 30 people sign up, and you're there till like 11:45. Yeah, crazy.
How much time do you get?
Sometimes you get 3 minutes and that's it.
You can't even talk about anything.
I know.
You're microwaving some food and it's done.
I know. 3 to 5 minutes, man. You could finish an instant noodle. Cooking an instant noodle, you're fucking done. In terms of worst gig.
Just one of the I don't know, bad ones that might have stood out to you.
I've had gigs where people have shouted out some fucking racist stuff, like, and looking back, it was funny, but because just how ludicrous it was. But I remember one time, this isn't the worst gig, but I'll just say it because I don't have anything else. But I was doing a gig and this old white dude who wasn't part of the audience, he was like walking through. He was just saying, you guys are stealing all our women. I was like,
what?
Us, like Asian dudes, are stealing the white women. And I was like, I don't think that's how it goes, man. That is not how it goes. It's the other way.
Yeah, the other way.
And so I said that to him. I was like, man, nah, it's you white guys are stealing our women. And he goes, no, it's not. I've never dated an Asian woman. And I was like, it's probably because you're broke, bro. You're probably poor as fuck, dude.
You said that to him.
Yeah. You fucking.
Which is why you're performing.
Yeah. It was in the middle of the show. But anyway, it was like an awful thing to have said to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, shit like that sometimes happens, and you're like,
Is this because you mentioned your partner at the show, or
maybe I had a joke about dating or something. This would have been like 7 years ago.
Okay.
Ages ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have too many gigs where I'm like, fuck, that was horrific. Like, like I feel so bad.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah. But you do also get a bit more like picky, and like sometimes like a gig that goes okay, you're kind of like, fuck, I wish it was better.
Yeah.
I wish it did so much better. And it was still fine. People laughed. But you just didn't kill, and you get a bit more like, not entitled, but you're like, oh, you feel a bit spoiled. And I try to remind myself, it's like, oh, look, you can't always have like killer gigs. It's always up and down.
Yeah.
And also that makes me more appreciative of a gig that goes really well. You're like, oh, fuck, it feels so amazing, you know?
I assume the gigs you've had with this show, with this tour you're doing,
yes,
have been pretty well positively received.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, yeah. Again, but it's also different when it's a solo hour show. Like people, like I said, people are buying tickets to see you by yourself. So generally, they know what they're in for.
Is there a supporting act at the?
No,
it's just all you.
Yeah. Because that's what's advertised. You know, it's just me, my hour show. So
I went to one of your work in progress shows as well.
Oh yeah.
How often are those done? Because that's not very common. I didn't really hear of one that I knew they existed in general. I didn't know until I went to one.
Oh, they're pretty common, man. I try to do as much as I can before a tour starts.
So for context, can you provide to our listeners what is a work in progress show?
Work in progress show is like literally I'm doing the show that I'm about to tour, so it'll be an hour of like untested material. So it's like new, completely new. I'll have notes on stage. I'll refer to it. There's no flow. It's like scattered. There's no like what do you call it? There's no structure.
Yeah.
It's just off the dome. And it's really, really useful to do that because I don't know if you've ever been on a stage in front of people and had to perform an hour of something that you've written, but it's really like, it's tough. It's tough to remember it all. It's tough to order it. It's tough to jump from like crowd work to the material, like all that shit.
Yeah.
So the trial or the work in progress shows like let you do that. And so I've tried to do as many of those as I can. In a dream world, I would love to be able to do 10 trial shows before the very first show.
How many did you do before tour?
I think I did
this one, at least.
I did 6. I did 5
Seems
or
like
6.
quite a lot.
Seems like it's a lot, but it's not, man. Oh, for me, I like to... It's a big part of the work is to test the jokes. And obviously you can test these jokes in clubs and stuff, but sometimes there's a bit of pressure because if you're getting paid to do comedy, you can't just throw fucking all this new shit out there.
No one knows what's going on,
Yeah, well, it's also like, it might not be funny.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just fuck around. So I feel bad. Obviously, I'll still do club spots where I'm doing like tested material. But I love a trial show because people know that it's new material, that it'll be like, okay.
Yeah. So they know what they're signing up for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What would you say is the most meaningful message you've had from either an audience member or maybe someone that's messaged you privately?
Oh, fuck. I've received heaps from this Melbourne run that I've done. Yeah, a lot of people, I think, feel touched by the show, which is nice. A lot of people appreciate, I guess, the overall message of the show, but also, it comes back to even just being like Korean Australian.
Yeah.
It's cool to see young Korean Australians come to my show and like feel like, maybe, they're appreciative, and like it means so much to me because, I'm not entitled to that.
Yeah.
But when it happens, it's so lovely. It's nice to have people. People say it face to face after the show as well, which is
cool.
Cool.
Oh, okay. You get a lot of people that chat to you after.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not running off to a gig, I like to stay after the show, as they're going out, say thank you and stuff. But yeah, sometimes I'm too busy. Like I have to go to another show to perform. But yeah, for the times that I did in Melbourne, it was really nice.
Because I assume you're pretty unique with the standpoint that you're one of like the only few Koreans that do comedy, especially even just in Sydney. Because I don't know if have you looked up how many Korean Australians there are? That'd be a good thing to know.
No, I actually don't know.
Because when you brought that up, I was like, I wonder what the ABS statistic is.
See, even ABS that's outdated. The last intake of data is like something like 2016 or something, or not even, maybe 2022, like pretty old.
Yeah.
I imagine it's a pretty small fraction of the community. Of the population.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky. I'm lucky. That's why, even if a couple, one time 5 came. And I was like,
5 Koreans.
Yeah, that's fucking heaps.
Yeah.
That's so many. So, yeah, it's awesome. Very grateful.
I don't know one I could bring. That's it.
Oh, really?
Oh, maybe 2.
Oh, see?
It's getting numbers. I'll bring all.
Double the number. Yeah. 1 to 2.
I'll try to bring them all. Do you have a dream venue or city you'd perform in?
I would love to eventually perform in America. I'd love to. I get a few messages and comments from people online being like, when are you touring Idaho? And shit like that.
Where is that?
What the fuck? I'll come to Wisconsin, all this shit, which is so nice. It's so, I always say, I would love to, my following is not too big, but one day, once it's big enough, I'll go over there. But the other thing is I don't know how to quantify how big a following I need to do it over there. But
in one specific state as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's only 2 people in Wisconsin who've ever fucking heard of me.
Yeah.
And then I'm back to doing shows to 2 people, you know what I mean?
And you flew all the way there.
All the way there, yeah. But I'm planning to in the future. I would love to. It's just America's kind of crazy right now.
Yeah.
But that's made it quite hard to get the visa and all that shit, get all that.
Is it actually tricky for Aussies to get in the US?
I think, for in my industry, you need to get a specific, I think it's called O1 visa.
Working or something?
No, it's a talent visa.
Oh, okay.
Kind of talent visa to get over there. And it's expensive. It's really expensive. So
how much are we talking here?
I think
roughly
at least 10K.
10K
minimum just for the visa application.
Just to get in there.
Well, and they could bump you back.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. But you got to do it. You got to do it if you want to go over there. I've heard of comics doing the shifty where they go.
Just do a tourist visa, right?
Well, and then they work. But the thing about that's risky is once they find out, if they find out, and they're a bit sensitive these days, they'll just fucking ban you. That you won't be able to work. Get a legit...
Ever, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if ever, but long enough to impact your career. So I want to do it right.
I think... I thought they would have at least have some sort of exception where it's like if your gross revenue is under a certain amount, you'd get like a discount of some sort, or it'd be like a percentage. That would make more sense.
Yeah, but we're talking about, visas in the US and immigration. None of it makes sense.
Yeah. Stuff will never get in power to change anyway. But
look, the only thing that makes sense to them is cash money. So
that's all right.
That's why I gotta keep working.
Yeah. I know you've worked with Jenny Tian. Am I saying that right? Tian. I know she's a pretty big comic.
Yes.
From the area.
Oh yeah.
Is there anyone else that you would like to collaborate with?
Oh, you mean like my mates, or just in general?
To draw with? Yeah, is there someone you like to perform with?
Heaps. Like my good friend He Huang, she's fucking hilarious. She makes me laugh so much, like off stage as well. She'll say some of the most uniquely creative things you've ever heard, and you're like, fuck, that's so fun. Another guy that I love, Lee Jin Hao. I met him in Edinburgh last year.
Yeah.
Sorry, I saw his show last year, and no, was it last year? It would have been 2 years ago. Anyway, saw him in Edinburgh. Then he came to Melbourne last year, hung out with him. Jin Hao is, again, such a unique voice in comedy. And he hasn't been doing it for that long, but he's like, I can't wait to see whatever he makes. Like, he's just so, like, refreshing in the way he approaches comedy. But yeah, I love him. I'm going to see him in Edinburgh this year. We're going to hang out, which I can't wait for. Yeah, there's heaps. I reckon I always encourage people to go see comedy that they would never see, like something that goes against maybe their tastes, because you never know. Like, you never know what.
Experiment a little.
Yeah. And support the arts, support these live stand-up shows, because it's fun to watch it on the phone or whatever, but I feel like the live experience you can't replace.
No.
Something else.
I remember going to Ian and Eski's. They had a show about Am I the One?
Oh yeah, the dating show.
The dating show.
Yeah.
And it was funny because when I went, I think they were there for like a couple of days or something, but the time that I went, I think there were like 4 people, including me.
Oh, okay, wow.
And then they were like, I spoke to Ian a couple of days later, and he's like, bro, the funny thing was the next day it was full.
Yeah, see, so that's literally the way it goes.
How does it ebb and flow that much?
It depends on the day. Like Fridays and Saturdays usually sell well.
Yeah.
Then and then it'll be hard to sell a Wednesday because it's the middle of the week. Sometimes the Friday show sells more than the Saturday, but the Friday the audience is tired because they've had a whole week of work and they just got off work and they're about to go see a show, and then like sometimes the Friday nights aren't as fun as the Saturday nights. It's all crazy, but the thing is, you just have to.
So many variables.
Well, you have to, and you can't make sense and control any of it. So you just have to enjoy what you get. Yeah, you get what you get, and you don't get upset. That's really important.
Yeah, it was funny though. Like, I still enjoyed the show.
Yeah, of course.
It was just like funny how Ian had a bit about who's anyone from Cabra, and then I was like, yeah, me, and he's like, I know you, so I can't can't use you.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was like, oh, damn it.
It's always a bit of fun when you know someone, in the audience. Yeah.
Any advice to young creatives that might want to jump into the creative arts? I mean, you do work with media.
Yes.
Like, that could also be something you might have advice about. If someone wants to get into, I don't know, television, streaming, something like that.
Yeah, I think my advice is to always. I think it's important to like experiment and keep working and try to ignore some of this social media culture of like, having to posture and show like, oh, I'm working, I'm doing this, and look how much progress I'm making. Yeah, all the grind culture shit. Fuck that. I hate it all.
Andrew Tate, Sigma male,
I mean, even aside from that, just social media culture in general. And like, I'm part of it. Like, I'm posting and I'm doing all that shit, but I'm also just very hyper aware that we get really self-conscious and self-centered about all this stuff and it takes us away from enjoying making things. I think it's really important to not focus on success, but focus on progress and like really enjoying. Like, the clips that I put up, again, like I put it up for my own enjoyment. Like, I think this stuff is funny, and that's really important to me. But also, like, for me as well, is they're kind of like mini postcards of like that performance.
Like a time capsule.
Yeah, because I'll remember a performance from a clip that I'll put up, and I'm like, oh, that was actually real fun. And I remember, I can even think about how I felt that day.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, this is fun. And so, like, that really sustains me. And so my advice is for anyone starting, it's like, just keep making things that you like and are proud of, and just keep making and making and making. And then, like, you know, get to the point where you're making and posting if you need to post, and working with other people, finding that community. But, like, at the end of the day, if you want to make a career out of, like, a creative thing, like, always try and move towards something that you will enjoy. Because, like I said, no one's got a gun to your head. If it's a creative pursuit, no one's forcing you.
Yeah.
But the best thing about the creative pursuit is it's so fun.
Yes.
It's so fun to just fuck around, make people laugh, engage in that level, and just try and, like, keep that part of it going. Because if you're not sustaining yourself, then you'll burn out. And also another tip, take breaks. You need to take breaks. You need to refresh.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. I've seen comics, they lose their minds, and they're just like, and then, like, they quit forever. And you're like, well, you could have prevented that if you just took stock of your life and, like, took a step back. Because the thing is, man, bad shit will just happen in your life. And if you're already highly stressed about succeeding in this career shit, it just starts to crash.
Yeah.
So take breaks, see family and friends, enjoy that shit, and always make shit that you like, and then I think you'll be fine.
Yeah. So dial it back when you need to. And with that point, I forgot to ask, how did you get into working with the ABC? That seems like a pretty tricky job to get into, like being like a presenter for a fairly popular show.
Well, they had a job application. They literally have, it's like a careers.
Oh, it's that easy. Yeah,
there's a careers page.
Yeah.
And I just applied through there.
Yeah.
But I will say the audition for that show, this was the YouTube show that I did years ago, fucking hard. It was really hard. There was like a written application, and in the written application I had to submit like a video that I made that would be like played on the show, like, so it was like a comedy skit. And then I had to do a Zoom interview with the execs, and then in that Zoom interview I had to do like a segment as if I was on the show, and then I had to do a studio audition. So I went into the studio at ABC Ultimo, and I had to film an episode of the show, and it was based on one news story about video games that I had seen, and one news story about video games that I'd never seen before.
Right.
And then one was just completely made up on the spot. And it was just go. And I remember doing like 1 million takes. And I remember walking away thinking, fuck, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Because I did not do well. And then I think almost a month went by. Nothing. No one told me anything.
That's a really slow recruitment process. It's a month.
It is. And it's hard.
Yeah.
But then they emailed me and they told me about the job. And it was like crazy. Crazy.
Were you teaching at the time?
Still teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucky I had the teaching job to keep me focused on something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just applied. If you, with jobs like that, it's good to be like just across, like the basics of like, they have a career portal. It's hard to know when to look at it, but like, I don't know, if you're out for jobs like that, they will usually make it known. They'll put it out on social sometimes as well. They did it for the creator job that I got. They posted it on their TikTok saying that, we're going for creators, blah, blah, blah. And I saw it. I didn't even find out about it as I was working at the ABC. I saw the TikTok about it.
Yeah.
So that's when I applied for that job. I applied on the portal.
Yeah.
I had to do the same thing. I had to do the written application. Yeah. It was hard. It was really hard. But yeah, it's the same as any job, man.
Yeah. It's in general, you always got to do a lot.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up, where can our listeners find you, Mr. Harry?
Instagram and TikTok. I've got a website, harryjun.com, which is where I have my tickets. But on socials, my handle is _Harry Jun, Jun _ because
Someone took it.
Some dude took Harry Jun.
There's another Harry Jun out there.
There's another one out there, and the account's like...
More successful, is prettier.
I hope so. Making good use of the fucking username, I hope. But it's okay. If you search up Harry Jun on any of those platforms,
you just Google. I think you're the top result
for now.
SEO, yeah.
For now,
before the first Harry Jun comes back. Huh?
Yeah, and then you might take it all.
Yeah,
I'll be performing to 2 people again.
I'll link all of that in the description below. If you guys have any... Oh, sorry. Do you need to plug any other shows you have apart from the one you have? Is there anything else coming out?
No, I got just Edinburgh in August. Brisbane Comedy Festival's at the end of May, if this thing's out before then. And Sydney Comedy Festival will be like in the middle of May. And then that extra show that I chucked on is on the 9th of May.
Yeah. Well, most of my audience is in Sydney, I think. So this timing won't be the best when it comes out. But maybe for the next time, if you do keep up with Harry's work. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you can email us at riceandmikespodcast@gmail.com, or you can find us mainly on Instagram at riceandmikespodcast. And I've only recently been posting on TikTok.
Oh, nice.
Because Terrence from a couple episodes back, he did push me to start using TikTok because that's where the crowd is. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to repost my old reels on there just to start building a following.
Yeah.
Eventually. I've only just started, so I've only got like 6 followers at the point of posting.
Dude, we all started with that. It all starts from somewhere.
Instagram's where it's mainly at. And with that, we'll sign off for this episode. Thanks, Harry, for joining me on this episode. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.